au wengine walipe a minimum of 200,000 and wengine up to 600,000 in one academic year, verifying all the 45,000 students that Kenya wamesema ni ukweli. It doesn't make any sense. That's like a plan that's dead on arrival. Kwanza unajua before someone ameenda kwenda kulipa 200,000, mtu anafaa ulize watu wa Bicom mahali wako. Hapa tuko na watu wanataka kwenda shule, but the government has said inalipia a group of people wenye maybe wamekosa kabisa, and which I support, by the way. I think that model ni poa because there are some people wenye wana lack, and then kuna wengine wenye still they can afford to pay. Understand? There are people who can actually afford to pay ido ya fees. Kama tunaitishwa 50,000, 70,000, maybe there are people who can afford to pay, but there is someone who cannot afford to pay. So you find the government, for example, what it was doing previously, ilikuwa inalipia everybody who gets the scholarship by the government, wanalipiwa a certain amount of money, but then the rest of the people, the rest of the fees wanajilipia because the government cannot pay all the money. So the people wenye hii doa haiko inawasaidia wote, kuna wengine the remaining amount they were not able to raise still. Unapata mse ana defer even after amelipiwa the amount and they're supposed to pay 20,000-30,000, they're not able to pay the 20,000-30,000. So government brought this model. Now it's going to pay these people who are not able to pay, it will pay fully for them, and then the people who maybe can afford to pay, watalipiwa maybe a certain amount and then they pay. But if you probably go to private schools, aulipiwa hata bob, that's case on you, wewe jilipie, because you want to go to a private institution, they pay private fees peke yako huko, hakuna mahali serikali inakusaidia. So what's your take on like the whole thing? Because for me I think ile model fulani ya everyone gets paid and then ile do less mnabakisha, at least you can raise the amount or that amount of money, because it's now offering 45,000 45, no, what is this amount of money it's paying? It's paying like for 45,000 students in like sijui hundreds of thousands of students when you apply. Au wengine walipe a minimum of 200,000 and wengine up to 600,000 in one academic year. So you look at that whole thing, unaona, as in we really deserve, I think, a different approach. Ama sijui what the government, because for me I think watu wangelipiwa do kiasi kila mtu, because when you look at the government and the plan it has ya identify how to pay for the 45,000 students, it doesn't make sense. You apply for a form, now put into perspective, forms 45,000 zenye hata wasi apply wengi, 45,000 yenye inataka kuchukua peke yao apply, verifying all the 45,000 students that Kenya wamesema ni ukweli. It doesn't make any sense. The thing, I have had a conversation of them saying how they're going to eliminate those people na kupata the 45,000 people. So you say how much you earn, how much your family is, sijui the amount of money you earn, the income, how much you spend in school, sijui how many are you. I mean, how will you come to verify 45,000 households, how many people they are? As in, how will you verify that is the amount of money we earn? Because they're saying they'll go to KRA, there are people who don't pay those things. There are people who want pesa huku chini ya maji. But hawapati hiyo do. So wewe unafanyanga kazi yako kienyeji. How are you supposed to verify to the government that upati do enough? Because they've said the money watakuwa wanaangalia from your KRA, how much are you paying in terms of taxes? I mean, those things don't apply in everyone. This like kitu ingine hapa inaenda kukua scam ingine tu fulani. Because now the people who know people are the ones who are going to be like, mimi nachukua do yangu, I know someone who's picking, so mimi ndampelekea form yangu and it will just go through and you'll have to pay say for example 50,000 so that the government where utalipa your do. It's just another whole scam that's going to arise from this whole thing. We are out here sitting acting like the government is out ready and having a plan. For me, I think that's like a plan that's dead on arrival. when you look at it, the fact that maybe ule mse mwenye deserving 100%, instead of mse asome mpaka first year alafu alemewe na ile do, it's better alipiwe do yote. But now you are selecting a certain number of people and utalipia, and then what do you do with the rest? We're in a country where we expected things zita change, but things are actually skyrocketing and becoming very expensive. Imagine, put just 200,000 into perspective, because sasa hapa tunafaa tulipe school fees minimum. By the way, weenda ufanye course fulani, kama fanya BCom huko, well, you will probably not even get a job after all anyway. So wewe government have seen, of course, hata ione uko na mashida, and then 45,000 watu wajae, we have no other money to pay for you fully, so wewe enda ujilipie hiyo pesa ingine, you just go do BCom, pay her 200,000. You're paying 200,000 fanya BCom. Kwanza unajua, before someone ameenda kwenda kulipa 200,000, mtu anafaa ulize watu wa BCom mahali wako. You need to know first of all where BCom students are, because apparently wenye wako they are actually having a hard time kuendelea na mambo zenye, kuendelea na mambo ya shule. So I think in this particular point mahali tumefika, it's high time we just agree that wewe kama unaenda kufanya BCom, that is a very expensive vacation or a place for you to waste your 4 years. That's a very expensive affair. Understand? Just I don't know what you're supposed to do now, because the education, which is the university education, is very expensive, and we should now find of other alternatives. We have, I think, the Open University they opened, which I don't know how that freaking works. They don't even think at this particular point they've been able to enroll anyone into that university. Acha tutafute other alternatives, because when you decide to go to that direction, it's very expensive.